Good morning. My name is Tara, and I'm going to be the host today because, as many of you know, we share that role here among the group at the Center of Love. Thank you for being here this morning. I made some little notes because I'm distracted because my dog is not well. And the cool thing about this space is that we can always kind of come forth with those things and share them with one another. In this space, we show up perfectly imperfect. And I feel like one of the host's roles is to sort of describe what the center of love is. And the center of love is a place where you can show up perfectly imperfect, mildly thrown off. Bring your notes, even if it doesn't feel very professional, it doesn't matter because we're so happy to gather in this space. Just a group of like-hearted souls, and I see lots of familiar faces today, also some new faces, so that's always exciting. I don't know if anyone is online. Is anybody online?
No.
Okay, well, please know if you can't make it in person, we also always have a link to the Zoom call so you can join and be a part of the group that way. And the vibe is just as high through the ethers. So yeah, so we are happy to gather this group of like-hearted souls to explore and excavate interesting ideas of all kinds in the name of connection and community. From spiritual topics to scientific and beyond, this space has become curated as a safe place to connect, converse, and ultimately share our truths. Whatever we want to talk about, that's what we do at Center of Love. It's a place to share and be witnessed in our experiences, our beliefs, our desires, sometimes our demons. I've noticed we share a little bit as well. And I'm super grateful for my friend Naomi, who introduced me to the Center of Love. She originally invited me to be a speaker here. At the time, she didn't know that I was actually looking for a place to gather with people that were like-hearted in this exact type of environment. And so it was a win-win, a place to speak and share my truth, and a place to be witness to everybody else who shares in this space as well. So, just a community that really envelops people of all kinds with a great amount of love and care. So very, very grateful for this space. And today, as the host, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. Our very own Ali Reddy is going to speak to us. Ali is a lover of nature and a super duper adventurous soul. You can find her exploring on the water. She drives a very wicked van that she drives around in and finds all sorts of cool things to do in the world. You'll find her on her bike or hiking in the forest. Ali and I are just getting to know each other. And what I can tell you is that she is a lifelong learner full of curiosity, which is probably what sparked her conversation that she's going to share with us today. She's not a person who just follows the status quo. She's a person who is a deep critical thinker, somebody who has a real awareness of her own self and her own uniqueness in the world, and also her place in the collective. And I think that that might be some of the inspiration for her topic today. She's been coming to the Center of Love for about a year and a half, and today she's going to be our speaker, and she is going to deliver her talk, which is entitled Things That Make You Go, hmm. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about it since I was invited to introduce Ali, and like, how many times a day do you go, and wonder, why did that happen? Or what's unfolding over here? If you're curious, there's so much to be found in that. And so that's what Ali's going to talk to us about today. So she's going to speak for a little bit. And then after that, we will have the opportunity to go into meditation together and discuss some of the things that make us go, hmm. So much gratitude for you, Ali, for showing up today and for preparing your talk. And I'm just going to welcome you up.
So good to see everybody. I haven't been here since forever, it seems. Yeah, so nice to be back. So full disclaimer, I'm not an expert on anything in particular. I do like to dig deeper, and my goal here is to share my experience and some content. and to be able to open up to hearing about others' shared experiences, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that has these strange things that make you go, hmm. And also your insights. I appreciate that because I'm still figuring it all out, which should take a while. So, yeah, I'm very curious about who else has had things that make you go, hmm. I think if you stop and think about it, um, that everyone will. For years, I just kind of shrugged them off and didn't think too much, not knowing. And then the last few years, likely after I had my major car crash when my brakes failed and I went through a garage door and I walked away fine, I was like, wow, there's something more here for me. I'm being kept around for a reason. And like my son said to me, he goes, Mom, this isn't the first time. And I was like, I know. Like, hmm. So I started compiling a list of strange occurrences that have happened to me. And to ordinary people, I would feel very odd. Um, Telling them about everything that I've gone through, but I feel very comfortable here. You guys make it a very safe, welcoming space and accepting. And yeah, and I think because most of us are very relatable. So, yeah. Have you ever lost anything and looked and looked and looked? And I'm like, I thought it was there. It's not there. And I've looked and high and low and looked in the spot where it should be, and then I just like let it go, going, that's weird. And then months later, all of a sudden, there it is in the exact spot you'd left it. I did that with a Pandora bracelet that my kids gave me to me. That was very special to me. And I have this shelf that I keep all my bracelets on. And I went to grab it and it wasn't there. And I was like, I remember the last time I wore it in the event and I asked my friend to check and no, no. And I just like, I don't know. So I let it go, and months later, I was looking on my shelf going, which bracelet should I wear? And there it was, like right there. And I had swept the shelf clean. I knew it wasn't there. I'd done it several times. There it was. And I live alone. So there's like nobody else would have done. And then another time I had a little amethyst heart in a locket. And the locket I'd play with and open it up and look at it and take it. And then one day I realized it was gone out of the locket. And I was like, oh, I was fiddling too much with it. I lost it. It fell somewhere. And I was like, how am I ever going to replace that? It's this tiny little heart. And then one day I opened it up and it was there. And it was like, how did that happen? Like, where was it? Where did it go? How did it get back in there? I don't know. Yeah, things that make you go. Um, and then there's other things I have like with conversations, particularly my mom and dad, it seems. Um, I had been at a health show and I'd found this juice that they claimed would solve everything, diabetes and old age and everything. And my dad had just been diagnosed with old age diabetes. And I phoned them up and I said, hey, I want to buy this for you guys. I think it's going to be real. Like, I just want you to try it. It's just juice because they know that I don't push anything alternative on them. I said, it's juice. And they're like, no, 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 don't spend your money. And I'm like, yeah, but I want you guys to try it. If you like it, you can keep ordering it yourselves. And finally I convinced them, yeah, okay, we'll try it. So I buy it. And about a week later, I go to their house and I like, here's the box of juice. They go, what are you talking about? And I said, well, we talked about the juice. I phoned you up in the health show and we told you not to get it. I said, no, but then you agreed. And you both, like, I was talking to them both on the phone. And they're like, no, we didn't. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, am I crazy? Or, anyways, I ended up taking the juice home and drinking it. But another time I was visiting them as an adult, And I go to use the washroom and I come out and I go, I said, when did you guys start putting the toilet paper over the top instead of underneath? Like, I still do it underneath because that's the way I was raised and that's the way we did it in our house. And they went, what are you talking about? It's always been over top. And I said, no, it hasn't. And they're like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And they both think, they're both like in agreement against me. And I'm like positive. Like I grew up all my life in the house with the toilet paper underneath. And I still do it underneath. So things like that, I just like, then it takes me back, like makes me think I'm the black sheep of the family. Like what? Like they don't, we're on different levels, different, I don't know. Yeah. And then something that really crazy happened to me. Late at night, I was driving home from Saskatchewan with my ex-husband in the seat, sleeping beside me with the seat back, and coming back from my grandpa's funeral. And I was driving fast. It was like 11:30 at night, and I just wanted to get home. And I was thinking about my son and things to do. And the roads in Alberta are straight and flat, pretty much. So I'm going fast, like really fast. And all of a sudden I see in front of me cows out on the road, like not just a couple. There was a solid couple rows of cows on the road. And this one cow and I linked eyes and it looked at me like that. And I looked at it like, what? And then I just closed my eyes and I screamed. And then I opened them up and Gord was like, what? Like he woke up and I was like, there's cows out on the road. And he went, oh, and went back to sleep. And I went, oh, and I kept driving. Like, I don't know what happened. I swear they were there. Like, I saw them. The cow and I linked eyes. Like, so yeah. How am I coming across so far? I'm hoping people can relate. Then there's another time that I was on a sailboat and we were doing a night crossing and the seas were really choppy. And I realized I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel sick. And this isn't good because I can't hang out over the edge of the boat because I'll flip into the ocean. I can't go down below to the head because it's so little. And we're like, and I was like, I can't get sick. Like, where am I going to get sick? How am I get, like, and I just got in my mind. I'm like, I can't get sick. I can't get sick. It's going to be gross. I can't get sick. And then all of a sudden I felt fine. It's just mind over matter. So I rewired my brain through repeated thoughts. That was cool. That was very powerful. That was neat. Mm. So, yeah, realizing the impact of all this and how it, well, not even realizing, I'm curious how it affects relationships and how people view me and see me. And then leading up today, I was sharing with a few of you, and Dre mentioned to look up the Mandela effect, living in alternate realities. I'm like, okay, so yeah, that's kind of relatable. And then it led me into this quantum Zeno effect. And that I never heard of. And so that is the power of your mind to shape reality. So it challenges our understanding of existence, where if we properly harness our consciousness with pure intent, we have the power to freeze reality and manifest our deepest desires, shaping a new reality. So I'm like, because Tracy and I were having a very similar conversation about that yesterday. And I'm like, okay, still trying to tie it in with what I've been through and done. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure how all of these relate to my experiences. And there's also parallel timelines, jumping timelines that I'm really not knowledgeable about. Maybe some of you are, I'm hoping. So I'm still discovering, researching, and finding that this is all very fascinating. And I thought I would share. In my hopes of doing this was I always love our discussions here. I always love what other people have to share and their insights that they have. And I just thought this would could lead to some really good discussions. So yeah, my talk, and I look forward to hearing what was